What's good, Modern Retro Show family? It's Teacher Eddie back with another epic rap battle of history. Like I said, I'm running through these like the Blitz, son. So today, I think we're going to have a first. I know you guys are used to me pausing, breaking shit down, but I got to be honest with you, I don't know anything about GOKU. I know a shit ton about Superman because I'm a big fan of Superman, my favorite superhero after the Silver Surfer, but unfortunately, I'm probably not going to catch half the references up in here because, again, like I said, I don't know GOKU, but you guys have been saying you got to do this one. Has one of the most savage lines in ERB history. So I'm doing it, but again, warning you, don't know about GOKU.
Who can stop this constipated drop with the awful animation and the complicated plot? Who's got the rap bomb to drop on Japan? This looks like a job for the
All right, well, I'm assuming GOKU is some kind of Japanese character. So of course he's dropping the
complicated plot. Who's got the
rap bombs drop on Japan. Yep. If it's anything, because again, Superman is as American as it gets, right? Truth, justice, and the American way. Of course, until Zack Snyder, what did he change it to? Truth, justice, and I forget what it was. But of course, Superman's motto for decades and decades has been that he fights for truth, justice, and the American way. So nothing as American as dropping bombs on Japan.
On Japan, this looks like a job for the OG. Superman.
Yeah, so the OG. Wait, was that Jimmy Olsen?
The rap bomb to drop on Japan. This looks like a job for the OG.
Yeah, I guess that's supposed to be Jimmy Olsen. So the OG, yeah. So of course, Superman is the original OG superhero, as we know in the modern day. Superman debuts in Action Comics #1 in 1938. Batman follows not too long after, but Superman is the OG. He is the original. Way before Marvel comes out with anything. The first Marvel character actually is Namor the Submariner. A lot of people think it's Captain America, but Namor predates Captain America by about a year, I think. And then Captain America, of course, comes out in the 40s. But Superman is the OG. I also love the fact that instead of the S on the chest, he's got ERB on the chest. That's awesome.
Superman! I'm killing it, you're grilling it, I'm villainous to vegetables who dance around in hammer pants and hide their tiny genitals. My level is incredible, I'm out of your league. You want justice? I'll bust this nut up in your
Okay.
Superman! I'm killing it, you're grilling it, I'm villainous to vegetables who dance around in hammer pants and hide their tiny genitals.
Look, man, hammer pants were the shit back in the 90s, all right? Probably outdated now.
My level is incredible. I'm out of your league. You want justice?
I'm out of your league. You want justice. So, of course, making a Justice League reference. So Superman is, of course, one of the founding members and of the Justice League, which is the DC version of the Avengers for all you Marvel fans out there. So it's, of course, Superman, Batman, Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, so on and so forth. Somebody actually called me out and said, who the hell begins the Justice League by mentioning Martian Manhunter? Because if you read the comic books, if you don't get your knowledge from movies, Martian Manhunter is the John Lennon and Paul McCartney, whichever one you choose, of the Justice League. He is the guy who founds and brings them together in the comics. For whatever reason, they chose not to include him in the original cut of Justice League. And for whatever reason, my friend George pointed out, why does he refer to himself in the Snyder Cut as Martian Manhunter? His name is John Jones. Like, why does he call himself Martian Manhunter? Kind of weird.
Justice, I'll bust this nut up in your GG. Crazy, against it.
Yo, why is Superman busting nuts? There's one thing I never want to think about when I think about Superman busting nuts, especially one of them super nuts, just tear apart a woman. That was one of the things they did in Smallville. If you ever watched the WB show Smallville, of course I did, because I will watch anything with Superman in it. He and Lana Lang don't have sex because he is afraid like he's going to super nut up in her and just absolutely destroy her. So they don't have sex because of his super sperm, like Method Man would say. Got that super sperm?
From DC, one breath that feeds your whole measly species. You're primitive and limited, you live in a village of idiots. Step in Metropolis, oh step a period. How many times are they gonna rewrite your story? Your powers have been boring since the 1940s.
Yeah, all right. So that's a decent burn to come out with. So yeah, of course, like I mentioned, Superman comes out in 1938. He is not officially Superman as we know him at first. You know, he has all the telltale signs of the suit, but his powers really don't get developed until later on. Like, he can't fly at first. All he can do is jump. You know, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Like, if you ever watched the Superman series with George Reeves back in the, whatever it was, I think it was in the 50s. That's like at the beginning, right? You know, faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single whatever. So he could just like jump long distances, kind of like the Incredible Hulk can, but he couldn't fly. He didn't have heat vision or freeze breath, like all that stuff. That gets added later on. So, but those powers have been stagnant since the 40s. And also his story has been rewritten. But then again, you can make that claim pretty much about any comic book character with all the parallel universes and the New 52 and the rebooting and all that stuff. I mean, pretty much there are, of course, exceptions. I mean, Batman's story has been pretty stagnant. Like, it hasn't changed much, right? But yeah, Superman's story changes a lot.
Defeat me with heat beams, you're crazy. Cause I'm a Super Saiyan, you're a flying Miss Daisy. You're pretty pasty.
Did you just make a Driving Miss Daisy reference on Superman? Flying Miss
Me with heat beams, you're crazy. Cause I'm a Super Saiyan, you're a flying Miss Daisy. You're pretty pasty to be powered by the sun. You can't float to Sun Goku, I Kaio can't get it done.
I gotta admit, man, Goku is coming a little hotter than Soups did. Calling him out being too pasty for someone who's powered by the sun. So, of course, Superman's powers come from our yellow sun. So on Krypton, they have a red sun. But Superman's powers come from the fact that we have a yellow sun in our galaxy. So they react with his cells to give him all of his powers. Right? That's why sometimes in the movies you'll see him fly up and try to absorb the rays of the sun in order to regenerate his powers. But Goku is calling him out. I mean, Superman should have a much better tan for somebody who's powered by the sun. I agree with that.
Defeat me with heat beams, you're crazy. Cause I'm a Super Saiyan, you're a flying Miss Daisy. You're pretty pasty to be powered by the sun. You can't float to Sun Goku, I Kaio can't get it done. When I see your movies, all I do is watch the clock. Cause there's nothing fun about a superhero scared of green rocks. Look at
Yeah, Superman movies. So the first Superman movie that comes out with Christopher Reeve in 1978 is a game changer. I mean, it is so, I mean, if you look back at it now, you know, and you're, you know, in your 20s or teens, it's really hard to grasp how amazing that movie was. Because if you try to compare it with contemporary comic book movies, of course it's outdated. But at the time, the tagline for the movie was, "You will believe a man can fly." As I have the original poster in my room. And we did. It was just so amazing. And Christopher Reeve is Superman. I mean, end of story, bar none. There have been other people who've played him, but Christopher Reeve is Superman. He did such an amazing job with that. Of course, he meets a tragic accident in 1995, becomes paralyzed. And Henry Cavill does a great job. But Superman 2, absolute classic, kind of gets a little hokey because they replace, kind of like with Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon. So the original director, Richard Donner, gets replaced in the not even in the middle. He's like 90% done with Superman 2. They replace him with Richard Lester, good old Dick Lester, who, aside from Superman 2 and 3, the only thing he's known for was directing 2 Beatles movies, A Hard Day's Night and Help. And he starts turning it into, like, putting in a lot of comedic stuff. So parallels the whole Snyder getting kicked off Justice League, and they bring in Joss Whedon. But Superman 2 still considered, a great movie. But Superman 3, absolute hot garbage. They bring in Richard Pryor. They turn it into like a slapstick comedy. And Superman 4, let's not even discuss it. Never happened. Forget about it. And then we don't get a Superman movie for like almost 20 years until Superman Returns, which wasn't bad, but wasn't great either. And then, of course, a decade later, we get Man of Steel. So Superman movies, definitely, a mix and match, so to speak. He pulled out the Soldier Boy. Hold on. Look at those panties. You got that camel. I'll report to Lois Lane and Superman at home. Oh, man. Goku, look, I didn't know Goku before this, but mad respect to Goku because, look, I love Superman. I got two different Superman tattoos. I got, if you see statues above where I'm sitting, half of them are Superman statues, if not more. I love Superman, but Goku, killing it with these lines against Superman, calling him out on the panties, wearing the underwear, outside. But of course they changed that with Henry Cavill. They get rid of the red tights, calling him out on the camel toe, and then he says he's gonna Superman that hoe about Lois Lane. For those of you who don't remember, there was a song came out called Soldier Boy. It was called Crank That. And there's a line in the song where he's a Soldier Boy, Superman that hoe. So basically, like, he's gonna skeet all up in that hoe and give him the old Superman. Oh yeah, Superman that hoe, man. I haven't heard that in forever.
Your rapping is weaker than your fight scene. Just one punch over 9,000 screams. I'll make your nose bleed like Roshi sniffing pennies from Z to T.
Roshi sniffing panties. I wish I could get these references about Goku, but I know nothing about him.
You can Dragon Ball Z. Don't lecture.
Oh, Dragon Ball. Okay, so this is Dragon Ball Z. I assume, right? Because that's right. It's like Dragon Ball. Sniffing pennies. From Z to GT, you can Dragon Ball Z. From Z to GT, you can Dragon Ball D's. Of course, a D's nuts reference. Superman making a lot of nut references. Skeeting, banging, nutting. There's a lot of nuts in this video. Okay, Dragon Ball Z. Okay, so I've heard of Dragon Ball Z. I know it's something animated. I know they're also like trading cards, playing cards, or whatever. All right, so at least I know that much.
Don't lecture me about fights, you Cape Coward. You got your ass beat by a bat with no powers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So that was another huge complaint about Superman movies, is Superman is just so powerful, right? I mean, the big complaints about Superman are, number one, he has too many powers, right? He's just too powerful. His only, of course, weakness is kryptonite. And Goku, of course, pointed that out, I believe. Superhero who's afraid of rocks. But the issue more so is everybody calls him a Boy Scout. He's like too goody two shoes, unlike Batman, who, does have a dark side. But also the fact that Superman, he's so powerful, like, who's he going to fight? Right? In Superman 1, he really doesn't fight anyone. Superman 2, he has a bit of a fight because he's fighting other Kryptonians and General Zod. But then Superman 3, Superman 4, like, he doesn't fight. He never lands a punch. Superman Returns, same thing. He doesn't fight anybody. He doesn't punch anybody. It's not until Man of Steel that, we get full-out Superman fighting stuff, right? And, yeah, so that was definitely a reference to that.
Don't lecture me about fights, you Cape Coward. You got your ass beat by a bat with no...
Yeah, so that is a reference, not to, let's forget about Batman versus Superman, the movie. Let's talk about the comic. So the comic is called Dark Knight Returns. It was written by Frank Miller, my favorite comic of all time. Dark Knight Returns, absolutely amazing. If there's one comic book I could recommend for you to read, if you've never read a comic and you call yourself a comic fan, shame on you. But if you're going to read something, read Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. Absolutely fantastic. Second Batman comic I would recommend would definitely be The Killing Joke. They will totally change your mind. about every movie you've seen and about how dark Batman can get. But in Dark Knight Returns, Batman does end up defeating Superman at the end. As one of the most badass lines. He's got his foot on Superman's neck, and he's like, always remember this, Clark. Always remember who beat you. I think he says something like, remember me, remember whose foot was on your neck. Like, he totally berates Superman. But then he lets him live. But not because of Martha. Why did you say that name? There's a different reason in the comic book. But yeah, you got beat by a bat with no powers.
Powers! There's only one way that this battle's gonna end. One more Superman who's never gonna walk again.
Okay, there it was. You said it. You said one of the most savage lines ever.
One way that this battle's gonna end. One more Superman who's never gonna walk again.
Wow. Okay. All right, I just wanted to say, because last time you guys said I ended it too soon, but if there was any, like I said before this, Goku was killing it with all the lines, Superman, I'm like all the lines I pointed out, but this is the nail in the coffin.
One way that this battle's gonna end. One more Superman who's never gonna walk again.
That is just savage. That is savage level Sith Lord. You do not get, I mean, what are the savage lines I've seen so far? So the miscarriage line from Cleopatra and Marilyn Monroe. You're never, nobody in your family ever lives to see a sequel. Clint Eastwood and Bruce Lee. And there was another one that's, but this one, I don't know, man. This one just may cut too deep because I am such a fan of Superman, and I love Christopher Reeve so much. He's just a part of my childhood, man. But calling out the fact that Christopher Reeve had a real-life accident, he ends up falling off a horse and breaking his neck, and he's paralyzed from the neck down for the rest of his life until he does pass away. And that was the big joke. I know a lot of comedians took advantage of that joke. Chris Rock, definitely one of them. Remember, is Superman can't walk. What's next? Aquaman drowns? But yeah, Superman can't walk. Wow, another Superman who's never going to walk again. This is hands down easy. Wasn't one of the best ones, I agree. A lot of people said it's not one of the best ones, but there's one line that's just savage. It was definitely worth it just for that. Again, I do apologize. I just, like I said, I don't, for all the people who accuse me of like, oh man, he seems too prepared for these. Look, like I said, I know what I know, but I also know what I don't. And I didn't know anything about Goku, but I thoroughly enjoy this. But yeah, Goku this is like a second round knockout of Superman, which pains me to say. It seems like every one of my favorites ends up losing, right? Like Bruce Lee, Clint Eastwood, I'm like, man, I'm such a huge fan of Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee gets annihilated, right? And there have been a few like that. Joker, I forgot who I picked for that one, but I was like, man, huge fan of Joker. But I do think I picked I picked Pennywise in that one. And just like a huge fan of Gordon Ramsay, right? Last one I did, and Julia Childs killed it. So I think whenever I pick like a favorite, it's like a guarantee they're going to lose. So really enjoyed that one. Thank you so much, fan. Thank you for the support. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Like I said, running through these ERBs. Check out the other history reactions. Check out my original history reactions. I love you guys. Love the support. Check out another video and maybe check out a playlist. And as always, if you want to support us, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/ModernRetro Show. Shouting out the Hall of Famers, James R., Spacey Doodle, Elena J., Ulrike, Clement, Vijandra, Alan, Alex, Baba Mama, Aaron Shepard, Big J, Jobina, Dallas Seeger, and Freeman Stephenson. I've been Teacher Eddie, and I'll see you next time.